What's up, the squad? Back with another video. I seen the title was going down. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it right here. Make sure y'all go follow. It's TJ the realest. Cheese, you got TJ right here. TJ a good dude. TJ is actually a great dude. He I think the first time, I'm pretty sure I want to say I looked at another video of TJ. I forgot how. I'm not even gonna lie. I truly forgot. And I apologize, TJ, on how we met. But like I said, he's definitely a cool dude. So if y'all can go give him a follow, it'd definitely mean a lot to me, and definitely I know a lot to him. I'm pretty sure it's TJ the realest on all platforms. I'm pretty sure. And y'all can find him on YouTube and all of that. Like I said, pretty cool, solid dude. We done had, a couple here and there talks, over social media a couple times, but he made a great point. And put here, daily reminder for Karmelo Anthony supporters: 4 of the 6 witnesses who testified against him were black. 3 black jurors were disqualified due to being honest about being biased. I know y'all are being purposely obtuse, but the truth doesn't care about that. And one thing about this, and just me being completely honest, me being real about this, and putting out this reminder, that 4 of the 6 ones who testified against him were black, and just putting that out there, because I feel like a lot of people are making this more so a race issue, and it doesn't need to be at all. I've been saying this from the get-go since day one, as I've been following this case. Having 3 black jurors that's basically saying that he's too young to go to prison. I probably couldn't do this and send the boy. That stuff right there, I wouldn't want him on a jury. Like I truly wouldn't. I truly wouldn't. I don't know about y'all, but I truly look at the simple fact too, when you're literally and you're having and I don't know why people keep on saying that it was an all white jury. It wasn't an all white jury. But you obviously have to switch some stuff around regardless. But again, even if they did have 3 black jurors, they're gonna say it was more white people and then black. It was gonna be some type of something. Even if it was more black jurors than white jurors, they was gonna say, oh well, those few white. Regardless, it's just the same as people saying something about President Trump. He can do something truly amazing, and they'll look at it and say, "Oh well, we don't like it. We don't like what he's doing." You literally have here Jasmine Crockett, and literally had a lot to say when it came down to Karmelo Anthony. I know when this case first came out that I put out a few videos about Jasmine Crockett because she had a lot to say within this. But what gets me about this whole thing is that, mind you, Jasmine Crockett is in Texas, or District TX30. I don't think for long though, if I'm not mistaken. But Jasmine Crockett started out and said something, about Karmelo Anthony. Mind you, that nobody has helped. Within this. Now people are starting. I think you got a few rappers that said they're gonna donate money. I don't know why. To this day, I still don't know why. But it's definitely sickening. To me, it's sickening. But you have Jasmine Crockett here. I'm going to play this quick video, see what she said.
Black women, especially black women who have black male children, live in fear and agony every single day. A fear and agony that I promise you, the Metcalfs probably never spent a day living that way. And we're going to have just some real conversations about race in this country.
Real conversations about race in this country. I feel like that's the problem within it. I truly feel like that's the problem. That you constantly have to bring up. You have people that's bringing up race. People are not going to get out of that because they constantly bring it up instead of just living life. And this is not just for black people. I'm talking about everybody. Like people that's always bringing up that issue with that. Like it's time that, we just stop talking about it. Live life and have fun. Like literally. Like what are we talking about here? I'm telling y'all. It's wild. Truly wild. You got Jasmine Crockett. And again, this is something that's very. Just listen to this.
The blade was under the size limit.
That's okay.
But it was unlawful force.
Wait a minute, was it a switch? I don't know what he had.
It was like it seemed like it was a multi-tool, almost like a Swiss Army.
Like with like with the little scissors and everything and whatever. So it was small. Well, I would have argued the size of it alone, you wouldn't even think it's a deadly weapon.
And that's
she would have argued that, and I guarantee they probably would have gave Karmelo Anthony 50 years. I'm not even gonna lie. They honestly probably would have. They probably would have gave Karmelo Anthony life. Dealing with a person like Jasmine Crockett, she would have made everything worse as possible. Her loud voice, yelling for no reason, doing things. She definitely would have made everything worse. I'm not even gonna lie. So it probably was. You know, I don't want to speak on that. I don't even want to say nothing crazy. So I'm gonna be quiet. But then again, I look at the fact, regardless of the size of the knife or whatever they're talking about, it still doesn't matter. He did something just enough. And mind you, if you talk, I think I got. Let me see. I don't have it up here no more. I actually had one of those tools she was talking about up here on my desk. And regardless, even if it was that size, he still gave enough force for it to penetrate when it comes down to his heart. So regardless of it, that is a deadly weapon. Seeing how he passed away. I don't know what they're not getting out of this, but I'm confused. Like, I'm truly confused. Somebody said a simple toothpick could be used as a deadly weapon. Hint, hint. If the object in your hand is used to unalive somebody, it's a deadly weapon. Yeah. Jasmine Crockett, no. I don't know what she's about. She is making everything worse. The things that she's saying, and this is nothing that surprises me. That's why I'm not like, oh wow. She said, I'm not surprised that Jasmine Crockett is taking this route and what she's doing. Like I've stated before, you have rappers, Cardi B. Pretty sure I've seen something about Lil Boosie. It's a couple rappers. It's a few rappers, few individuals that have said they will donate to Karmelo. And me personally, I find it insane the way that they moving. And it literally just goes to show you that they don't care not only for the youth, but they don't care enough for the black youth. And y'all know me, I'm not one that's gonna talk about race, this, that, and the other, but it literally just goes to show you that when y'all literally praising somebody that then unalive the kid, regardless. That's what I have a problem with. You literally have Jasmine Crockett, and this is a real post. Now, this from New York Post. Says Jasmine Crockett suggests she also would have did the same thing to Austin Metcalf in a stunning defense of Karmelo Anthony. And that right there is insane to me. Y'all can go find this. This is on New York Post. New York Post posted this. Not only that, Jasmine Crockett, stated that. Check it out more in New York Post.
Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett is under fire over stunning comments she made about one of the country's most high-profile murder cases. The lame duck Texas Democrat is facing backlash after defending murderer Karmelo Anthony and suggesting she would have reacted similarly, meaning stabbing another teen to death. Now, Anthony was convicted of first-degree murder this week after fatally stabbing 17-year-old Austin Metcalf. In her comments made on her podcast, it's worth noting the many factual inaccuracies that accompanied these bizarre remarks. She described the 6-foot, 200-pound star athlete victim as 300 pounds. She said he was on top of murderer Karmelo Anthony, who, by the way, is 5'11" and 162 pounds. She described the knife plunged into Metcalf's heart as, quote, small. Now, the comments quickly went viral, sparking a fierce debate online and fueling new criticism of the outspoken Congresswoman. Now, Anthony, who is now being held in isolation in a Texas prison, has filed an intent to appeal his conviction.
And I'm not going to lie. Most likely gonna get denied. And I'm not trying to say it to put anybody down, regardless how I look at it. And like I've said from the get go, this is not a win-win, and that's why I tell people, and I stated even before they gave him that amount of time, and I know that y'all literally been in my comment, y'all been seeing the videos, I've been seeing the same individuals that's been checking out, and I definitely appreciate y'all. But I've been telling y'all from the get go, regardless of the amount of time, anything like that, I'm not gonna say that it doesn't matter, but it's truly not so much of Austin's mom, his twin brother, his dad or anybody like that considered as, such as a win, because they child, it's just sad, lost his life because he was told to leave, and not just by Austin Metcalf. And that's why I said this is not so much of a win from nobody. And I'm not taking up for nobody or anything like that. This is just two lives, and one thing that I can say though is that Karmelo, he's living, he's living. He's able to pray. He's able, if he's like that, he's able to eat something. He's able to breathe. He's able to do these things, and they lost their son's life. I can't say that. But I truly find it disgusting that you have so many people that are cheering on for Karmelo and doing this. It's truly sickening and it's truly sad. I have family members that's doing the same, and I've had to talk to a lot of individuals, and it just sucks because it's like now, and I don't have a problem doing it. I say it just sucks because you have so many people that's speaking on this situation and really haven't been following, or they looking at something from the get-go. They'll see a post and say, oh, he did this to him, to another team, because, or they say this black team, Karmelo, they did this to a white team, all because he wanted him to get up and they'll make it out of, and lie about it, instead of actually listening to any witness statements, looking at any reports. They don't look at none of that. And that's what burns me up out of it, because regardless, he was in the wrong about it. And it truly just goes to show y'all on just how, this world is moving. It's truly sad and truly sickening. Check it out.
Jasmine Crockett is claiming that the knife that Karmelo Anthony used to take the life of Austin Metcalf was not a deadly weapon. She said the weapon was too small. She said, was it a switch? Did it have scissors on it? Was it something like a Swiss Army knife? And she said she would have argued that the weapon was simply not a deadly weapon because it was too small. However, we do know that the weapon that Karmelo Anthony used did take the life of Austin Metcalf. The woman that she is speaking with says, yeah, after Karmelo Anthony did that, he went back to the coach and said he didn't think he hurt him that bad. She's also making this a race issue, saying that black women in America live in agony every day, especially if they have a black son. Jasmine Crockett grew up in a privileged neighborhood. She attended schools that cost over $30,000 a year. She was part of a sorority. She went to grad school. Yet she is acting as if she is not one of the privileged few in America. Jasmine Crockett is making this a race issue when it is not a race issue. It is a right or a wrong issue.
Exactly.
Someone took a knife to a track meet and stabbed someone. The person that he stabbed lost his life. Therefore, there's consequences. This is not a race issue. It is a right or a wrong issue.
It's a right or wrong, and I'm here to tell y'all. And I've got called, names. I've had people laugh at me. People say this and people say that. But one thing about it is that God sees all. Regardless of the situation, that's something that he shouldn't have did. And that's just what it is. That's how I look at it. Truly look at it that way. And then for the people that's saying, these things, like I've seen posts, and a family member actually posted this. Let me go to this. I seen a post today. A family member posted this, and I don't want y'all to go too crazy, with saying this, but it just goes to show you on how disgusting, people can be, about it. And it's truly crazy. It's truly crazy. Not only is it crazy, but you literally have, I'm trying to find this post, y'all, but you literally have people that are truly just sickening, truly sickening. And they don't pay attention. They rather look at post and share it. The post was shared and it says white people are weak. AF. How TF you basically pass away from one stab. And I seen it and I automatically just thought to myself, like, there's no way an individual can post anything like this, family or not. And I almost said something, but I try my best, to hold my tongue. And I know y'all probably like, Recklezz, you should have said, it's not gonna do me injustice. I mean, to get my point across, yes, but at the same time, it's one of those things to where you can't fix everything. You can't fix everything. All you can do is say what you need to say and move on. To try to get people to comprehend and understand. Because it is some sickening individuals that say some crazy stuff. And I just don't get it. You have it right here, Jasmine Crockett, just, continue to defend Karmelo Anthony's, and I truly don't understand it. Check it out.
He ended up hitting Austin one time, and it was about where he hit him. One time, 2 inches. This wasn't someone who said, hey, let me stab you 5, 6, 7 times. And so when you're looking at the punishment range, there's a reason in Texas that it goes from 5 to 99 or life, because you are looking at how intentional, like how bad was this? 35 years for a kid who had decided to go under a tent that was not his team's tent as it was raining, and simply didn't want to be put out in the rain by some random kid that he didn't know.
From my understanding is that they said it was cloudy. If anything, light rain. They didn't say anything about like rain to where. And on top of that, Karmelo, this is what gets me. They start lying. They start lying, and then other people will start believing it. Because let me tell y'all something. For the older folks, for the teens and stuff like that, that's really not doing their research, because you have teens that rather look at, or young adults that rather look at social media instead of actually looking up stuff they own. Or you have older individuals that don't really do research because they don't really know how. I'm not making up excuses, but it's true, and they rather look, you got them watching TMZ. You got them watching the news, the older, and then you got the younger folks that's looking at all these posts and this, that, and other without anybody doing their research. And you have Jasmine Crockett that's on here and says, he was just trying to get up under a tent. So somebody that don't know this case, and this is what gets me, details matter. Details matter with me. I don't know about y'all, but it matters with me. When you sit there and you say something like this and you have it on TMZ and you spreading lies like this, and she says, okay, well, it was just a kid that was trying to get up under a tent because it was raining bad, and they was trying to get him out the tent, and he defended himself because when a person hears that, they're automatically, that Austin Metcalf is in the wrong. That's all they hear. Mind you, we know of having that common sense. It should never be that way to take a knife and do that to somebody, regardless, raining or not. And that's what I have a problem with. But you have so many individuals, like I said, that look at the simple fact, it was raining, and they put their hands on it, they was standing over, and they was bigger than him, and this, that, and the other. It's all lies. His own friend, Karmelo's own friend, told exactly what happened. Exactly what happened, and that Karmelo Anthony was in the wrong.
Who was larger than him? Listen,
A
lot of people don't know what it is to live as a black person in this country, but just like you can give the benefit of the doubt to so many police.
Let me tell y'all something for the people in the back. I literally live in a majority of white people neighborhood. Literally, the city I live in is literally a very big majority of white. It literally is. And she keeps on bringing up, mind you, I live in Indiana. I live in Indiana. They gonna say, "Oh, you had this Republican state, and they do this and they do that, and the country out here." Let me tell y'all something. I'm gonna be 100 with y'all. I'm gonna be truthfully 100 with y'all. I don't feel like it is. Everybody I encounter, and it's mostly, especially when I go fishing, when I go in, I'm talking about stuff be cool. It's how you come across individually. You want their respect, you get their respect. Vice versa. I don't care what nobody say. When you keep on saying stuff like this and being brainwashed to think that, oh, things are tough because of the color of my skin, that's bullshit. I don't care. I don't care what nobody talking about. Now, I'm not saying that that everything is gonna be sweet wherever you go, regardless to whatever color you are. But one thing about it, when you chill and you cool, still give that. Even if the other individual is being rude, still get it. At the end of the day, let me tell y'all something, man. I don't get this.
Officers, when they go out and they shoot some black unarmed person, even though they are trained, the fact that there was little to no mercy seen or humanity seen when this black boy said that I was scared, or the fact that honestly anybody else who did something with such a small object, all I know is that it wasn't considered unlawful carrying.
Can y'all let me know when Karmelo Anthony said that he was scared? I don't recall him saying that.
Considered unlawful carrying of a weapon.
So if this were a white boy in his exact same position, you don't think he'd get a 35-year sentence?
I would guarantee you it wouldn't have happened. I don't even know if he would have been convicted, because if a white boy would have said that they were afraid of a black boy, something tells me that that jury that didn't have any black people on it, they would have believed him in his fear.
Well, there's so many different opinions on this case. I mean, even your Republican colleague, Randy Fine, he's saying that he should get the death penalty. Your take on that?
Again, racism.
Not at all. It's right or wrong. And again, I look at the simple fact. He got 35, chance parole, and like what are we talking about here? He took a life. Like I'm so confused. I promise y'all, I'm so confused on why they constantly push this out. Jasmine Crockett ought to be ashamed of herself. I don't care what nobody say. I can't stand her, and most of y'all know that. But I truly find it crazy. And then she's saying that, if this is a white boy, well, it didn't happen that way. It was Karmelo Anthony, and he did that to Austin Metcalf. He was in the wrong. He got 35. So that's what it is. That's how I feel about it. Check it out. Benny Johnson and Brandon Gill, y'all.
Austin Metcalf's mother is the mother who doesn't have a son anymore because this barbarian went over and stabbed him 15 times in the heart. The idea that you've got members of Congress who want to turn things like this and racialize our justice system without any justification whatsoever. I mean, if anything, in this case, this was a black kid murdering a white kid. I think that's where, if there's a racial issue here, that's where the issue is. Not with the fact that, if you stab somebody and you murder them, you're going to go to prison for a long time. But it's just another reminder. Thank God Jasmine Crockett won't be here in Washington anymore.
Here's the exact quote. We have it up on screen. Black women live in agony that I promise you Austin Metcalf's mother has never lived through. I promise you the Metcalfs have never lived through. So there it is. It's a repulsive thing to say. I mean, it's like they're like on some level, it's like they're asking for a completely different justice system that does not look at right or wrong, that simply looks at skin color and says, because you're of my tribe, you'll be innocent no matter what atrocity you commit against the other racial group.
I think most normal Americans look at this and they say, I really don't care what the color of your skin is. If you go and murder somebody, you should either get the death penalty or be in prison for a really, really long time. But you've got these idiotic race hustlers like Jasmine Crockett who have no substance to themselves whatsoever. Intellectually, politically, it's why she's lost her Senate race, who want to turn this into some sort of racially divisive race war and suggest that somehow because because this kid is black or because his mother is black, he should be given some sort of special privilege in our justice system. I mean, there's so little coherence to what she's saying. It's hard to take it on face value. But basically, I think the intent behind it is that there should be two different tiers of justice. And that apparently, according to Jasmine Crockett, if you're of one skin color, you should be treated differently and much more leniently, apparently.
But that's their whole agenda, though. Like, if you actually think about it, like when it comes down to the left, like their whole agenda, that's just like when we talk about the illegal aliens and having illegal aliens do crazy things, just of this sort. When it comes down to unaliving somebody, when it comes down to fraud, when it comes down to any of these things, and they look at this the fact of they have brown skin, so they're in the right about this. They don't need that many years, or not that many, or years at all, and that's truly what I can't stand. And just like this, even if of having, let's just say, me personally, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all. This right here goes to show y'all that they're showing no example, and I've said this before. They're showing no example for the youth, not for the youth in general, not for the black youth, nothing. Because if it was a black judge, all black jury, and they like, okay, well, he did this, 2 years in prison, or let's just say no years in prison. He's on probation. He's, something like that. He's on a little house arrest. He can do some little community work for doing this. Man, let me tell y'all something. What example does that show? Like, truly, what example does that show? What they're doing right now is that they're literally telling and mind you, since this is a black kid and they use a more so race about it, this is literally showing other young teens that this is something that they can do anytime. This is something that we support. This is something that all because we look at him, we're not looking at right or wrong because the color of my skin. This is the right thing to do. And y'all don't deserve all these. That's not right. I promise y'all, it's not right.
If you have white skin, which is so gross and as you said, repulsive, and antithetical to equal justice under the law, to the way most people view right and wrong, that it's amazing that we have somebody in Congress who actually believes this. But we do, and we deal with it every day. And that, by the way, is you talk about Belfast. That's why we have problems like that in Belfast. You see European leaders who I think have a similar mentality, and they say if a migrant comes into Europe and he tries to behead one of a native European, he's not doing that because he's a barbarian. He's not doing that because he's a bad person. He's doing that because somehow he's been oppressed by European countries, whether through colonialism or through more modern policies. And because of that, we need to be more lenient to them. And whenever you do that, whether it's the Karmelo Anthony or in Europe, civilization unravels. Whenever you don't have swift, severe, and just justice, civilization does unravel.
I'm telling y'all, definitely a sad situation, man. Definitely a sad situation. When it comes down to Austin Metcalf and his family, and the simple fact that you have morons that act like this. I'm telling y'all, check out what this Karmelo Anthony supporter said.
Oh, when they pick an all-white jury, they had 4 white women, 2 Asians,
3 Asians.
It was 2 that
can't even count.
made it.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. 1 Indian lady. They had 4 males, 3 that was white. White people are dumb. They don't follow the law. They follow what them people tell them.
I promise y'all, this is the first time I've ever in life, I can definitely say ever in life, I've heard somebody say that. This is the first time ever in life I heard. That's why I had to put this clip in here. This is the first time I've ever heard that. There's no way. I'm talking about no way. Actually, I think I have heard it from Sonny Hostin. Maybe. I don't know. I feel like more so I'm hurt about this because you truly have them dragging this so bad that they're making this whole racial, they're making it worse. They're truly making it worse. And I said this from the get-go. When this case first started, I said it from the get-go. She's a sick person. I'll tell you that. I'm not going to play this video right here. But you literally have somebody, and at this moment, this woman slapped this man. You got black folks going around, and I'm guessing they're aiming towards more so, how can I say this? They're aiming towards more so of white homeless people. As what I've been reading. And putting their hands on them. Saying that they were, a juror in the Karmelo Anthony case. I truly find it crazy. Said they're falsely claiming they served on a jury that convicted Karmelo Anthony. You have another individual that rode up on a bike.
Hey, what you on?
And hit this man. I'm not gonna play these videos. Hit this man. Y'all can look this stuff up too. This is not nothing that's just. And this brave woman. I definitely get into this. Step in front of this man. Because this dude then walked up. This black guy then walked up and punched him in his ear. This stuff gotta stop. This truly gotta stop. Making things worse and thinking this is something that's okay to do. It's truly sickening. And I truly pray that he get found. And that woman. For what they doing. I'm telling y'all. Before we start the next video, make sure y'all stay tuned for the next video. Definitely, got a lot to say within that. Especially within Austin Metcalf's parents speaking. On the situation and more when it comes down to Karmelo parents and what each of them had to say. But before we get to that, I want to read this to y'all because it truly makes sense. It says Karmelo didn't cry when the jury heard the 911 call after Austin Metcalf was stabbed. He didn't cry when Austin Twins' brother Hunter could be heard screaming and, praying his brother wouldn't pass away. He didn't cry when the jury was shown Austin autopsy photos. He didn't cry when he saw the blood, soaked shirt, using a desperate attempt to save Austin's life. But he cried when he was found guilty. Let me explain more. He cried again when he was sentenced 35 years. The only tears the jury saw were for his own fate, not for the life that was taken. Austin Metcalf was robbed of his high school graduation. He will never get another birthday, another chance to live the life that was stolen from him. 35 years may be justice under the law, but for many it doesn't feel like enough. And I know a lot of y'all feel that way. Y'all can find this under from what is typed out at real_Amos, A-M-E-S. And it truly, is very sickening. Let me explain this to y'all before we start this next video, y'all. And if y'all catching this now as it dropped, the next video will be dropped an hour after this, most likely. So make sure y'all stay tuned for that one. A lot of information. My thing is, I can tell y'all right now that Karmelo Anthony got fed every single thing, literally every single thing from his parents, from Dominique Alexander and NGAN. He got fed in his ear that everything is going to be okay. Everything is going to be all right. You wasn't in the wrong at all. And I'm not making up excuses for him. I'm letting y'all know. This is a team that did something that obviously changed his life and he got to face the consequences for, but he's never done before. And this is something that is huge. I mean, taking a life. So him doing this and him getting all that, oh, this is a race thing. You ain't going to get that long. This, that, and the other. You this, you that. Mind you, Karmelo already thought that Austin wasn't going to pass away. He said it even to the police officers. Again, people need to tap into their report. And I'm pretty sure he said it to a coach or whatever. But even though he know what he did, he still had people in his ear. And even though he know what he did, Karmelo knew he was in the wrong with it. He just got fed. And again, I'm not making an excuse for him. I'm being realistic. Everybody done fed this whole racial thing to Karmelo. They done fed this whole thing. And he thinking he about to just get off scot-free. And that's most likely probably why he wasn't oh, they got me. Everything gonna be smooth. Everything gonna be good. Because no, it does not go that way. And I told people from the get-go. Y'all can go back and look at my old videos last year. I said, you know what? Keep Dominique Alexander on there. Because what's going to happen is he's going to make it worse for Karmelo because of the way that they're putting things, the way that they're doing. I said that in multiple videos. Now, y'all can go check and see for yourself on Dominique Alexander. Even not on the doc. Y'all can go really click on just any video from last year. And I said, they're going to make it worse. They dragging, they're going to make it worse. They're making this whole race thing. It's not going to look good. I'm telling y'all. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Definitely appreciate y'all. Much love, everybody. Stay tuned for the next video dropping tonight. Catch y'all next one.